Hello there. It's Loren from Tango, Costa Rica. It is around 9:30, not quite 9:30, on Friday morning here in Costa Rica. It's unfortunately a little gray today. In fact, it's a little cool today. This is a very old shirt, so it's paper thin, but it's unusual for me to be wearing long sleeves and two layers. I guess this is the time of year where it's most likely to happen. October, where it's pretty rainy. It's probably the rainiest month of the year, and a little cooler because of that. We've got less sun. So, but it's all good. All's well here. I hope you're doing well and having a great week. Hello, Judy Osborne. Good to see you. Nice to see you too. I hope you're well. We've been super busy here, crazy busy actually, and in fact, things are looking like they're gonna stay that way. We are now 100% booked. We're 110% booked for the upcoming session. We do have, no, I don't think what we have left are little spaces of 1, 2, and 3 weeks, but that's it. And that seems to be the way it's going. We actually have several usually registrations coming in every day, and obviously they don't all wind up coming to us, but we're booking up quite far in advance. So we're now working on booking for April 25th, which is our next session after the one coming up now. And I know just in the last 2 days, I just had to tell 2 good clients, I'm sorry, we don't have any space for you, because they waited too long to try to book their time. So we have people coming back all the time. This session, we had, I think, 5 or 6 people here who had fasted here before, some of them 2 or 3 times. And we had 2 or 3 others who were referred by friends or family members, maybe 4 or 5 people like that. And so, if you want to join us, you need to be thinking about this in advance and planning for this. And in fact, I think it's as good as time as any. I may say this again later on too, but just a reminder for those of you that have been here, you already know this because I've been talking about this. But prices are going up, our rates are going up. It's been nearly 2 years, I think, since they went up. And unfortunately, this is the reality today. Taxes, insurance costs, salaries, everything that we have to pay is going up all the time as well. And unfortunately, it means that we have to raise our rates just to be able to stay in the same place. And so we still charge less than anyone else. I recently had someone contact me about coming, and he asked me how much, and he got back to me and said, I think I'll be fasting with you. The other person I talked to wanted some ridiculous amount of money. It was $15,000, $18,000 for something we charge $4,000 for. So, so I know some people think our prices are high. I don't know if you look at Costa Rica is not an inexpensive country to operate from. Taxes are high here, costs are high, but it's spectacularly beautiful, and the climate's nearly perfect. A little cooler than perfect today, but normally it's nearly perfect. But it costs a lot of money to operate here, and you can't get a similar quality hotel room for what we charge here. And here, you're not just getting a place to sleep, you're getting an amazing education. You're being supported through an incredible process that you take yourself through. There's a community of like-minded people around you. The place is spectacularly beautiful. We're not a hotel, we're a retreat center. We're not sitting in a parking lot. We're sitting on 10 acres of beautiful landscape gardens, forest. There's jungle here, and there's beautiful gardens. There's both. It's amazing. And when the time comes to refeed, the food quality is incredible. You've got a pool, you've got a giant trampoline, you've got a big field to play in, you've got mountain bikes you can use. There's a giant yoga studio, beautiful place. There's really no comparison. There's no other place that I know of that offers you this kind of environment and this kind of knowledge and experience so that you can take your health to the highest level possible. But the bottom line is you're going to need to book in advance. And I started to say, so our prices go up on Monday. That's this Monday. Today's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Monday morning, prices go up. So if you know you want to come, what you're going to want to do is get your space booked over the weekend, today, tomorrow, or Sunday, paid for. What you can do, you've got two options. You can pay with your deposit. You can reserve with your deposit of $900. That locks in our prices where they are today. Or if you pay in full, you can discount those rates by 10%, which will save you quite a bit more. I mean, that's going to be a lot less than, with that discount than the new rates are going to be, because they're going up around 10%. So if you wait, you're going to wind up paying 20% more. Okay. And you don't have to know when you're going to come. It doesn't matter. If you know you're coming, you'll have up to 2 years to use the time. So even if you can't get here now, you'll be fine. Okay. Just so you know. All right. Let me see. Let me respond to some comments here. Jerry says, hello, privileged to see and talk to you again. I had 3 questions. Do you recommend any mental, physical diet preparations before coming to fast at Tanglewood? Yes. There's not so much that you need to do mentally or physically, but I mean, well, I guess everything you do is in interest of all those things. By the way, if you haven't seen her before, there is my dear friend Bandita sitting over there behind me on the couch. You can see her right. Oh, well, right there. She's lying on the couch there. So what you're going to want to do is do your best job to meet all of your body's needs as well as possible, ideally for 3 or 4 weeks. It's not absolutely necessary, and we have people that come here having made pretty terrible choices right up until the last minute, but it's easier if your choices are better before that. So what happens is once you register with us and you pay in full, we'll schedule a time for you and I to talk on Skype about exactly what you need to do. So you don't really have to worry about that, because I'll guide you through it when the time comes. Simon says, have you seen Dupuytren's contracture eliminated via water fasting? I have no idea what that is. I would have to look that up. I can try to do that right now. Let's see if I probably should have copied that and pasted it. Dupuytren's contracture. So let me see if I can find this way. Okay. Dupuytren's contracture is a condition in which one or more fingers become permanently bent in a flexed position. It usually begins as small nodules just under the skin of the palm, then worsens over time until the fingers can no longer be straightened. I don't know what causes that. I don't know if anyone knows what causes that. I haven't seen that before, at least not to my knowledge. I've never heard the term before. It says risk factors include family history, alcoholism, smoking, thyroid problems, liver disease, diabetes, previous hand trauma, and epilepsy. Underlying mechanism involves the formation of abnormal connective tissue within the palmar fascia. So initial treatments typically steroid injections. Among those who worsen, clostridial collagenase injections or surgery may be tried. Okay, and this usually occurs in males over 50. So I have not seen this before, and having said that, I'd be willing to bet almost anything that this would respond very well to fasting both long enough and properly, given the nature of the issue. Certainly 21 days minimum, probably longer would be better. 26 to 30 days is what I'd probably recommend. But I'd be very surprised if this wasn't at least partially related to dehydration, although in my opinion, virtually everything is. And we see virtually everything improve when we get people hydrated. I'd be very, very surprised if this didn't improve, and probably improve significantly. Jill, good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Hello, Penny. Nice to see you. Love Guru Blair. I guess Blair is your name. I'm guessing it's not Love Guru. Hello there. Good to see you. Hello, Mark. Good to see you here. How long should someone eat optimally before going to your facility to fast? Well, again, 3 to 4 weeks is what I typically recommend, but we do have people that show up having eaten poorly all the way up until the end. And it's okay. They still have a powerful experience. It's a little more challenging that way because they're going to be, they're going to feel worse. They're going to have more garbage in their digestive tract. It's easier if you make better choices for a while first. And if you heard me say earlier, we are currently fully booked. We do have a couple of small, we have some 1 week openings. We have some 2 week openings. We have a few 3 week openings. We have very few people that come for 1, 2, or 3 weeks. So we are, we've booked all the big spaces. Most of our guests are here 4, 5, or 6 weeks. We don't have any openings for those times. It's possible that I could, let me tell you what we're doing. We have our 4th Fruit Festival coming up in March 1st to 8th. I don't know if Brenda might be here with a link. She usually shows up and posts a link for me. Very kind of her to do that. But you can go to the Tanglewood website to find that. The Fruit Festival is amazing. We are sold out for our rooms. We have 26 guest beds in rooms and suites, and I think we have 1 room left now, but we're almost sold out. And what we decided to do was to build some ranchitos, we're calling them. Basically, the idea is, we have spaces for tent camping. We have a bathroom facility that'll support about 100 campers. But some people may not want to be in a tent. And what I thought we would do is make something, I thought at first about glamping, and then I thought, well, let's do something a little different. I mean, here, in the rainy season, tents don't work so well. You might want a roof over a tent. And in the dry season, when it's sunny all day long, the tent gets really hot unless you're in the shade. And, you have to get out in the morning when the sun comes up, and you don't want to go back in there if you need to. It's too hot to go in. So what we've decided to do is to build some little structures. And it's essentially going to be like a fixed permanent tent, but much more comfortable than a tent because it's going to have a full height door and a screen door. There's going to be a front porch. There's going to be, when you walk in, there'll be a light switch. There'll be 2. There'll be a light outside and a light inside in the center of the room. There'll be a palm thatch roof, which is a gabled roof, which means it's cool, it's quiet. If it rains, it won't rain in March. It's the dry season, but it's like the coolest places on campus are under the thatched roofs. They're fantastic that way. Wood structure sitting just up off the ground, and so it'll be, of course, again, it'll be dry then anyway, but you don't have to worry about that. It'll have a solid tongue and groove floor, so nothing can come through. There will be 2 beds in there. If we have a couple, there might be the possibility of a double or even a queen size bed with 2 nightstands and 2 lamps. Rustic, simple stuff, but a lot more comfortable than getting on your hands and knees and crawling into a tent. You've got screen panels all around on 3 sides. Anyway, we're building 6 of those, and so it is possible if we have a 3-week opening, you could spend 1 week refeeding. You're doing your refeeding in one of those instead of a room. And we're building these close to the camping bathrooms. So the camping bathrooms are beautiful facilities. It's just, you don't have a bathroom inside your room. You have to walk down a little path. It will be dry. It won't be raining ever. You have a light. It's no big deal. That's the only option left for fasting. This next session. After that, we open on the 25th of April, and so there's plenty of time to prepare for that, which was my point. The sheriff says, recently I was in a bit of a rut for about 2 weeks where I was binging and eating junk food and feel the extra skin fatness. What's the best way, protocol, to come out of it and get my body in line? The best way is by fasting. You're not surprised I'm saying that, are you? There's a reason I fast every time I need to heal anything. There's nothing, it's like 1,000 times more powerful and beneficial than anything else you can do. If you're not very experienced with this, then the recommendation is not to go more than a few days on your own. But if you time it properly, I can guide you through the process via Skype, but there's a limit to how many people I can work with at one time. I currently have a space available, but I have somebody starting soon, so it may need to wait until someone comes off. Well, contact me if you're interested in that, and we'll talk about that. Jerry says, on the optimal diet, what would your guess be as to how much a 23-year-old, 65 kilogram, 182 centimeter person would need kilocalories, protein, etc., in order to continue doing 125 push-ups per day and playing intensive tennis? I can't answer that question because there's no way to know how efficient your body is. So it's not about your body size. It's about the efficiency of your body. I'm 182. I weigh about 67 kilos. I eat 1,200 calories a day on average, but most people my size would need much more than that. And so I don't think there's any way that I can calculate what your needs are. But you don't need to, because all you really need to do is listen to your body. Eat when you're hungry, stop when you're satisfied. So, in terms of eating, then that would be the way to do it. Okay. Bogdan says, hi, Loren, can diverculitis be a scientific explanation for the old hard material people eliminate? Well, diverculitis is a problem with, well, certainly it's going to be related to what's happening, but can it be the scientific explanation for the old material? Yeah, I mean, I suppose right there. So for anyone who doesn't know, diverculitis is about having pouches in the intestine. You got your intestinal tract, and there's little pouches that form where material can get stuck. I don't think that all of the material people are eliminating are coming from these pouches. I think that it's clear from the volume that we see people eliminating that there's more than that going on, that there's stuff lining the intestines, and again, largely the small intestine. So is likely where the stuff is going to be found, where it's going to be located. So that's my guess as to what's really going on. I don't think it's probably just diverticulitis. Azad says, what? Oh, I can't. There we go. What did you eat? Oh, shoot. No, I've lost you. There you go. What did you eat while living in DC? I live in a cold climate, and bananas are the most easily accessible food at times. Well, yes, bananas are easy to get and easy to get organic in many places, but they're not the only thing. And the thing is, bananas are not a food you want to be concentrating on. I mean, I know a lot of young people do it because they're cheap. The problem is they don't have enough water. Most people are dehydrated, and bananas are not hydrating. They have less water in them than the average bowel movement, less than stool, okay? Stool is typically 75% water, and bananas are only 73% water. So most people are going to lose a little bit of hydration, a little bit of water every time they eat bananas. So when I lived in DC, I ate bananas over the winter, but I also ate apples and pears and grapes and kiwis and plenty of salads. And late in the fall, early winter, we had figs and persimmons and pomegranates, which are juicy. And late in the winter, we had all the berries would start coming in. So again, I don't know where you live and exactly what your situation is, but there's plenty of other things. I mean, where in DC, I had many other options. And so, yes, I eat bananas, but I certainly wouldn't recommend ever focusing on bananas, making bananas the bulk of your diet, because there's not enough water there. Okay. John says, hi from Central Africa, Congo. A question out of subject: can fasting improve self-discipline or willpower? Well, fasting can allow you the conditions you need, the time you need, the opportunity that you need to do the emotional work you need to do to develop discipline and willpower. But I don't think they develop as a result of fasting. They develop as a result of doing emotional work which is easy to do. I mean, it's easy. There's an opportunity to do while fasting. Not everyone avails themselves of the opportunity because some people are afraid to go there. And so they continue to distract themselves. But if one is willing to do the work, there's an amazing opportunity to develop real willpower, to develop real discipline, to become a more disciplined person. But that doesn't happen automatically the way that cleaning out your arteries happens automatically when you fast. That's going to happen if you fast. Your body's going to clean the garbage out. It's going to try to, if it has the opportunity to. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. There was a comment that was held for some reason. I can see it now. Bananas are the only fruit I know that even when of quality and fully ripe, I feel like combining with something else. I mostly pick lettuce, but it's like it calls for something fatty like nut or seed butter. Why? I don't know. I don't agree that that's what happens. Like that's not a natural thing. And bananas with something fatty, very sweet and very fatty foods together are not a good combination. They're difficult to digest and they create problems for the body. So I certainly wouldn't recommend eating them that way. You can eat them with lettuce, that's fine, but eating them with nuts or avocados, not such a good idea. Nut and seed butters, by the way, are far from optimal, right? Optimal foods are whole foods, foods that are processed through a machine, like nuts and seed butters, are going to have undergone a lot of nutrient loss through oxidation. And oxidation also increases rancidity. So you're much more likely to be consuming something that's going to be harmful to you if you're consuming nut and seed butters. I might eat those every once in a while, but obviously all raw, but not something I'd recommend doing very often. They're definitely far, far from optimal. Okay, nuts and seeds, frankly, are far from optimal because we don't need those concentrated quantities of fats. We can get the fat we need from eating fruits and leafy greens. 10 cups of greens gives you all the omega-3 fatty acids you need. Eat cantaloupes and you're going to get, a lot of your fatty acid needs met. I mean, many fruits have all the fatty acids you need. You don't have to worry about trying to get enough fat. So I'm not sure what's going on there for you. I mean, it might just be cravings. This is a popular combination to suppress cravings because it's heavy and, will knock you out. I mean, when I first started 28 years ago, I would eat cashews and medjool together, and I'd feel stoned, but it's not really a very good thing to be doing. Not something I'd recommend doing. Okay, hi from beautiful Switzerland. I was wondering, what should or can one do or work on before coming to your place? Before coming here to fast, again, all you really need to do is to meet your body's needs as well as you're willing to. So eat as optimally as possible, get enough sleep, get enough exercise, sip enough clean water, like that. There's really nothing else that you need to do or work on before coming here. Blair says, refruitarian diet, how do you know you're eating enough food to keep yourself healthy and not have deficiencies? Last night I ate 3 oranges for dinner. I didn't want any more, but that's very little food. Well, 3 oranges is not enough food. I mean, you can't, if you eat 3 meals a day, Blair, and you're eating 3 oranges at a time, you're going to get about 450 calories, maybe less. Excuse me. It's very unlikely that a fully grown adult can survive on 450 calories a day. If you want to lose weight, that it's going to help you lose weight, but that's a diet, and you're very likely not going to get enough nutrients while doing that. So as long as you're actually eating enough food, it's no problem. I've been eating this way for 28 years, eat relatively little food, although much more than 450 calories. I eat anywhere from 12 to 1,500 calories a day and haven't been sick a day in 32 years. So I don't think there's really any question that you can get enough nutrients. Nothing contains more nutrients than fruits and leafy greens. And when you cook food, you destroy nutrients and create toxic compounds. And you're putting them in a body that's going to work less well because of the food you're eating. So getting the body clean through fasting and then eating the diet that I recommend takes everyone to the highest level of health possible. I mean, I unconditionally guarantee that. Come and spend a month or more with me, follow my coaching, and I'll guarantee you in writing that you leave here much healthier than you arrived in a myriad of measurable ways. Not to mention that you'll feel it, you'll know it. We don't even have to measure it. It'll be obvious to you, the most important thing. But you're not going to get enough food if you're eating 3 oranges. If that's a meal, you eat 3 meals a day of 3 oranges a day, or that quantity of food, you're going to wind up with some issues for sure. Okay. Damien says, what do I think about sauna? Saunas are too hot, generally speaking. Infrared saunas with a low EMF lamps are okay because they don't get nearly as hot, because infrared lights heat the body from inside. So the temperature is actually much cooler. But normal saunas are way too hot and I believe are stressful to the body. So while there may be some benefits that one may accrue, and one certainly may feel relaxed and feel better, I think when first of all, it's going to dehydrate you, and most people already have a dehydration problem. Doing something else that dehydrates the body more is probably not such a good idea. That's my guess. Jerry says, when eating bananas and iceberg lettuce, would one head be enough for a meal of simple salad, would not including harder, whiter parts of the head, leaving only the softest parts to eat? Jerry, I think you're thinking too much here. Okay, if you're eating bananas with lettuce, eat all the bananas and lettuce you want. That's enough. Okay, we don't have to think about getting enough nutrients. We just need to make sure we're eating enough. So if you've eaten all the bananas and lettuce that your body wants, there's nothing else to worry about. Okay, you're going to get all you need. Again, we don't need to overcomplicate this. It's really, really simple. It's the simplest thing in the world. Every species has a natural diet. Our natural diet, like our closest primate relatives, with whom we share 99% of our DNA and our entire digestive tract, is fruit and soft, tender leaves, just like theirs. If we eat those things, especially if our body's clean and works well, we easily get our needs met and we feel amazing. And that's what happens. I mean, it happens for virtually everyone. The only time it doesn't happen is if your body is still doing some serious cleansing. If your body is doing some cleansing, then you may not feel great until that's done. That's why fasting is such a powerful thing, because in 21 to 30 days of fasting properly with guidance, you're a new person. Your body is working like a whole new body. Okay, it's amazing what happens. Darian says, what do you think of jackfruit? I love jackfruit. I'm sorry I can't turn my monitor because I've got 2 large jackfruits sitting out here right now. There's doors right here to a patio. There's 2 jackfruits sitting out there getting ready to eat some jackfruit soon, probably in the next 2 or 3 days with my volunteers. Maybe over the weekend we'll have a jackfruit meal. I've got 3 volunteers here with me now, and we'll be enjoying some jackfruit for sure. By the way, at our fruit festival, we will have a ton of jackfruit. Last year, I think we had something like 80 kilos. Now this year, we've got a lot more people coming, and so we're gonna have more still. I mean, we could easily have 100 or 150 kilos of jackfruit at the fruit festival, perhaps more. Sunny says, is it okay to eat oats every now and then? Well, you can eat oats. They're not really good for us. So we're better off avoiding grains completely. They're not really doing anything for us except creating some issues. So you'd be better off avoiding them. If the goal is to feel and function as well as you can, I certainly wouldn't recommend eating them. Tyler says, it sounds like Dupuytren's. Got it. Okay. Thank you, Tyler. That's how to pronounce the condition that Tyler or somebody was asking about earlier. I'm guessing it was Tyler. Okay. Thank you, Tyler. Yeah, I'd be very, very surprised. Again, my recommendation would be come spend 5 or 6 weeks with us. I can virtually guarantee you're going to feel and function much, much better by the time you're done. I wish, and in fact, you know what? There's several lawyers here in town that we use for property contracts and other things, corporate things, contracts, employment issues, whatever. Right now, I'm working on residency. There's several ongoing things, and one of them has this condition. I didn't know what it was, but I think that's what he's got. His finger is bent like this, and he can't straighten it. He's actually had surgery. Now he has to do it again. I've been trying to convince him to come spend some time here. He says he doesn't have enough time, but no, he's. I can virtually guarantee you it would improve. Okay, now I'm almost out of time here. Blair says, "Why are you eating bananas with lettuce? Seems like an interesting, weird combination." Actually, it's a wonderful combination. It works really well, especially for people who feel that bananas have too much sugar. Adding lettuce, you're adding water and fiber without the addition of any sugar, and they combine perfectly well together, digest perfectly well together, but they reduce the glycemic load of the meal. So it's a great meal, actually. I don't often do that myself, but I will sometimes. And I don't usually eat Cavendish bananas because they're not my favorite, although the Creole variety, or the native variety, unhybridized variety of Cavendish that we have here taste much better than the ones you get in North America and Europe. And so, but if I'm eating that variety, then I may sometimes wrap them in a lettuce leaf, and it's amazing. It tastes fantastic. Okay, Flower Bomb says, "What does it tell you if you're vomiting every time you do long water fast? How can you avoid it?" Well, unfortunately, there's not enough information there because there's a lot of reasons that can happen. And so, my recommendation to you, Flower Bomb, the same as my recommendation to everyone, is fast with experienced guidance, because your results will be much, much better. You'll stay much safer. You'll actually know what's going on. There's a lot of things could be happening, so there's not enough information there to say. All right, so unfortunately, it is 10 o'clock, and that means I'm about to be late for a lecture here with my clients who are fasting and refeeding with us here. So I'm on my way. I'll mention briefly, I haven't noticed anyone here from Israel, but if you are from Israel or know anyone in Israel, I will be in Israel. I'll be one of the speakers at the big vegan-friendly event. It's an annual event they do. Israel has the largest number of vegans per capita in the world, and so I'll be flying to Israel next Sunday, a week from this coming Sunday, 9 days from now. I'll be there for about a week doing the vegan-friendly event and related things with them, and then I'll be heading out of the country for a week, and then coming back to do 4 more events the following week. After that, I'll be flying down to South America and speaking in Argentina and perhaps Chile as well. If you're interested in working with me to organize events in your area, contact me. You can contact me, probably best not here. Honestly, it may be difficult for me to get back and respond to all these other comments and questions. I'll do my best. But contact me via email, Loren@tanglewoodwellnesscenter.com. Folks, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. If you've enjoyed this and found this valuable, please give it the thumbs up. Thanks to the 15 of you who have already done that. The rest of you, feel free to join in, and feel free to share this as well. And I'll be back next Friday, let's try that again, next Friday at the same, well, hopefully a little bit earlier. Today, I'm embarrassed, but I completely forgot it was Friday morning. I've been so busy. It's been a crazy week. And I got off my call that ends at 9 o'clock and went on and did other things. And actually, one of my volunteers said, "Aren't you going live?" I'm like, "Oh, crap." Yeah. So here we are. Anyway, I'll be back next week. I'll see you then. Hope you have a fantastic weekend and a great week ahead. Bye-bye.